to go live. So let me make sure it's doing its job on the YouTubes. Yeah, if you want to join, oh, my camera, this thing is out. If you want to join in online, hey, all I ask is you have a camera because we're gonna talk about some stuff tonight. But if you ever want to join in on the Indie Unplugged, we are going to have a link in. Yeah, if you want to join, oh, my camera, this thing is out. If you want to join in online, hey, all I ask is you have a camera because we're going to talk about some stuff tonight. But if you ever want to join in on the Indie Unplugged, we are going to have a link in. Yeah. Yo, can you hear me? Okay, now I see you.
I could hear you when you said, "Yo, you hear me?"
Oh, okay. Yeah, I got a countdown, timer, which I just interrupted. But I don't know why you couldn't hear me at the beginning.
Yeah, I had a countdown timer too.
Yeah. I put a countdown timer on here so that it'll be there so that we can start. But obviously you couldn't hear me. So what's up, y'all? I know we're getting ready. We're gonna go live here. Well, we are live now, but we are going to be ready in a
Oh, we
moment.
live. Oh yeah, it is 7, right on the dot.
Yeah, we
On
are
the button.
on the button, and we just waiting for B Henri to bam. Look at B Henri. Let me add him in here. Assigned to number boom.
You wanna get involved? Wanna get them drunk? Look, um,
Move B Henri
how
down a
many
little.
times we gonna let B2K break up and get back together and go on tour with Bow Wow?
You know what? Bow Wow
And
the
I
only
say let because we keep buying the tickets.
is Bow Wow the only person that can go on tour? He can go on tour with.
You know, I don't know why they keep picking Bow Wow, but I mean, they made a lot of money together back in the day on them Scream
And
tours, so I guess they keep running it back.
and that's probably why they're like, "Yo, we got Bow Wow in the building."
Which is crazy, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep, Bow Wow. But yeah, I added a couple of other little live. What's up, B?
What
B,
up,
what's
though? What up,
good,
though?
fam?
I'm trying to get B to B camera is like, yeah, look, hey, B trying to fix it. I can see him. I
I'm
added
trying to figure out a good way to.
Let's
I
see.
added a bunch of different I mean we live already, so it don't even matter. But I added a bunch of different I don't even know if it did it. Oh yeah, it did. Okay. It's live on Facebook. All right, so it's live on Facebook. Come on, Facebook family, join in. And it should be live on LinkedIn. Get capture the LinkedIn peoples.
Oh, what's good?
Yeah. But man, hope y'all day been well. Hope your time has been well, brothers. Since we got together last week. But
Yeah, man, it's been good.
I got some new graphics that you can see. So I've been busy with the new graphic joints. But yeah,
Love it. A
right.
deep dive into the
Yeah.
indie journey.
So while we
I heard
there,
somebody say that journey has become a buzzword, like circle back. Everybody's saying journey.
everybody on a journey. Right? Everybody on a journey. But since we here tested, since we're here getting ready, let me test this out. Bam. There's
Boom.
boom.
One shot.
One shot. Bam. Look, boom. That's B. I got
Oh,
it.
gotta tighten him up. There you go. Be ducked down.
It could B's on his phone, so he gonna have the box. He gonna have the box around him. But it's all good. Then I got
It
my little
looks good. It's
got my
clean.
it's clean though, right? Bam.
And you crispy, of course.
So I try to make it, a little interactive so we can do our thing. But once again, I hope all's been well with y'all. And yeah, it's just been real busy for me. So but I know we got a lot to talk about. Mr. Ty Huntley came up with all the topics for the podcast. I think Ty, you came up with all of them for the day.
I was trying to
So
find where I sent them to you
in
so I can see.
Google Docs.
It's a lot going on out
Like,
here in these industry streets, so
yeah, for
it's
sure.
not hard to find plenty to talk about.
Man, there's so much to talk about that we ain't even scratched the surface for this week, bro. Honestly, there's a lot to talk about. So,
It's a fact.
Yeah,
I
the
mean,
between the stuff with publishers, the stuff with AI, the stuff with
the whole Rock Nation.
have y'all seen the Kevin McCall is now it's like a YouTube show on Shade Room
He got a show in Shade Room.
apparently with Kevin McCall basically showing him crashing out. And I saw people in the comments on Shade Room saying he don't need a show, he need therapy.
He need help. He don't need.
He need help,
he need.
not a show.
He need assistance. Yo, that is bananas. Yeah, man. Let's get
That's
into
what
it, bro.
happens though when you in the industry and you
You crashing out?
crash out. It
Mm.
becomes primetime TV.
Yeah, yeah. I went live earlier on Instagram, and I was kind of talking about some of that same thing about how we as an industry, and like I said, we've talked about it a gazillion times, how we as an industry really just like to be real, um, just in the midst of drama and gossip. And it's thriving. It is what I guess I would say is what is driving a lot of the media today. Um, so let's take somebody like Kevin McCall, who is, crashing out. Let's put him in the public eye of everyone, and let's give him a show, and let's, people thrive off of it.
Yeah, you kind of are not.
I'm upside seeing.
You're not. What is it like relevant if you either don't have something amazing going on or something terrible going on.
Yeah,
There is no in between.
Yeah, which is crazy.
For us normal people. Us normal people can't make the news. You too
It's the
quiet, B. You need to crash out. See, that's the
no,
problem.
no, no, no,
you,
no.
need, you need
That
to you need to crash out or solve world hunger. One of the two. And your only two
no,
options.
no. That's the Orlando Brown Ray J strategy. I saw Ray J on the Breakfast Club just I think it was yesterday, and he alluded to something which is the same thing that I heard Orlando Brown allude to on the interview that he did. And what he basically said was that basically he acts a fool like that because it triggers the algorithm and it gets the
Yep.
views and that's what people pay him to do. So
I've
when he
heard Ray
signs
J
on,
say that.
when he signs, and I heard Orlando Brown say this as well
Mm-hmm.
in the interview.
Yeah.
When they're paid to do things, it comes with the guarantee that I'm gonna act a fool for
Mm-hmm.
you. So that's the strategy. So the Kevin McCall thing, I think there's a lane for that. Unfortunately, there's a
That's true.
lane for that. And you talk about somebody who's dealing with homelessness and need money. Well, here you go. I can do this song and dance if they want me to. So that's kind of what I see that is.
Mm.
It's sad.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
You're absolutely right. I saw Orlando Brown say that too. I saw him do a couple interviews where he was basically just, you know, kind of regular.
Yeah,
And they were like, how you go from one interview where you like crashing out to another where you regular. And he basically was like, the check dictates which one of me shows up.
yeah,
mm,
If they paying me the right kind of way, then I'm gonna give them the content that they want. I'm gonna crash out.
mm-hmm.
If
yeah,
if I'm doing it for free or the money ain't right, then it's just me. I'm just Orlando Brown showing up.
Mm.
yeah,
I was
Not
like,
yeah,
man, that's crazy. Like they know what they doing and they doing it not even for themselves, but because they know how other people respond to it.
yeah.
yeah, it definitely is.
And I said that the money it can be addicting. I mean, I assume it could be addicting if you need to get paid. You need to live a certain lifestyle. And I don't know. It's not for me though. If you out there at home and you considering this type of trajectory, I hope and pray that you do something else to get popping. but who am I to judge though? Who am
That's
I
right.
to judge?
That's right. Well, I don't think it's so much about. I don't think it's so much about judging, right? It's true. I think that there are. It's kind of like that what we used to say. B. We ain't gonna tell you what to do. We just gonna give you the tools and resources and knowledge so you can make the right decision to do whatever it is you think you need to do. And I hope people don't take that route. It is almost like a guarantee. I don't want to say that. That's crazy. It is almost like a
It's
guarantee.
crazy, but it is
It's
true.
right. If you can figure out that strategy, because Orlando Brown is good at that. Ray J is great at that. Like they are great at that strategy because they'll go on any of these platforms and say some of the craziest stuff. Like when Ray J was on Cam Newton, right? When he was on that podcast, when he was on the Breakfast Club, when he was on I made a comment on because he was on DJ Quicksilver's show. And I made a comment on there, and DJ Quicksilver, he didn't. I don't think he responded back. I think he liked it or whatever I had said. But it's crazy because they'll say and do anything. He was like, yeah, Mario don't want this. I got bigger hits than Mario. And it's once again, it's like that click debate type of thing that people are doing so that they could be in the limelight. So now, if you go and look at Ray J's song "One Wish," the song is like this,
Going crazy.
going crazy. But he knows what he's doing because now that song is active again when it probably wasn't as active as it was. And so he's using that momentum. You know what I'm saying? That
Yeah.
he's
And I'm the crazy person that says he not far from telling the truth, but most people are too young to know that the original version of Ray J that came out was an actual singer, was an actual artist and entertainer, and he has a pretty distinct sound. And even if you listen to the One Wish record, he doing some stuff on that record that not everybody can do. Those are not the songs that he ended up having, Billboard charting success with.
mm-hmm.
It was the Sexy Can Eyes, and I can't think of the one that's got like him and Janae Aiko, and I think even Omarion is on it. So those songs are the ones that people know him by.
Mm-hmm.
But Ray, just like Ray J said, if my brother put down the cigarettes and the hard liquor, it's very few people who can see him. And I actually agree with her. He
bring
had a
people.
bag, he just didn't stay in it.
Yeah. I mean, if you go through proper training, you know what I mean? Like if you go through that training, if you're gonna come out with an improvement. So if he does put the cigarettes down and put the drink down and actually goes in hardcore and does his thing, his vocal, ability is going to improve drastically. Um,
Because even if you think about One Wish, I mean, there wasn't 15 iterations of auto tune, waves tune, Melodyne.
there was something on
That it's something on it,
there. Something on
but
it
it wasn't like it is today,
today.
where
Right.
anybody can get something on it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you heard the new Wale album, he on there singing. That ain't the same version of auto tune that Ray J had.
He had a different,
It's much more advanced these
right,
days.
much more advanced. But man, Ty, let's get into your topics, bro. Um, let's
Man,
talk.
the
Ready?
first one is the first one. How do you say that name?
You know how I say her name? I'm tired of talking about her. That's how you pronounce her name. I'm joking. Janea, Janea, Janea Monet,
Is it
Janaya.
Janaya?
I
Okay,
don't
well,
know.
let's go with
It's
Janaya.
a lady
Janaya.
that's out
I
here
think
doing
I've heard people say Janaya, which
Janaya.
this can be a quick conversation. What's been ironic about this scenario, right, is now I have a new thought process about this whole $3 million thing because I'm seeing her everywhere. I've seen her on podcasts. She recently did Angela Yee's podcast
Mhm.
and radio show.
Cameron.
She recently was on Tamron Hall. So, if you've ever seen or worked with an artist who was getting signed when they were new, right? A lot of times, what happens is an artist will even come out and say, I signed a $2 million deal. And in reality, what they received was maybe like $170,000 as an advance. And the rest of that money that is included in that deal comes from both their marketing budget and then them hitting specific triggers to open up more money in their deal itself for a secondary advance. So let's say you get 170 up front, then you might, if you stream 1 million copies, or if it Billboard charts, then that opens up a secondary
Mm-hmm.
$100,000 advance, that kind of thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
This smells like to me that over 50% of this budget is marketing. So if people think that they can create, because I see people doing it, if you think that you can create independence, an AI artist, and that you're going to get a $3 million deal and you're going to have $3 million in your pocket, that's not what's about to happen.
Mm.
It costs money to be on these TV shows. You've got to hire a PR firm. and based on whatever their current schedule of guests are, in order for you to get bumped up on that list, they're not paying you to be on that show.
Exactly.
Okay, it's the other way around. And I'm seeing her everywhere with a positive spin narrative that she owns her masters, that she's creating these things, and it gives everybody the ability who has some creative skill set to do the same thing. I'm just here to tell you that some of those things are just dressed up to
Hmm.
appeal people to Suno. That is their ultimate goal, and they're paying for a press run of it. And so, definitely, I tell independents all the time anyway, understand and know what it is, to describe a master, a royalty that's based on mechanical, a
Hmm.
royalty that's based on performance rights. She thinks that she owns the masters, but if you read even the Suno agreement information, it clearly states that you can call it what you want. We'll let you call it what you want. But
Hmm.
based on regulations in the United States, you cannot copyright a work that has over 75% of it being considered AI. And she says she doesn't sing, she doesn't produce.
That's right.
These works are not something that she would own a master to. There is no master to own.
Somebody told her that. I don't. I don't know
And
who.
she's saying
That.
it on Tamron Hall, and they're clapping.
That's right.
Oh! Now,
Right.
if you know anything about those shows, there's a person that stands over to the side that tells the audience when to clap.
That's right.
So
Oh,
this is a created narrative that's happening right now.
right. And I think that's part of the. I think that's part of the issue is you have a person who and here's what I'm going to say. I don't know the lady. I don't know her background. I don't know her expertise with understanding copyright law and how the industry works, and if she understands what masters are and composition. I don't know her
She wasn't even an artist.
the
She was an
level.
artist of no kind.
Right. I don't know how much she understands from a level perspective, her level of understanding of the intricacies of all of that, right? Copyright, publishing, etc. But you're right? Because she stated that she has a pro Suno account, and the tier that she's on gives her full commercial rights. And that's what she's like, and she was like real super confident about it. Like, yeah, so I could and I will own my masters, and they're like, yeah, go girl.
Yeah, yeah,
I read,
girl. Yeah,
I
you got your masters,
read,
girl.
I read the
What's a master?
I read the comments, and they were like, "Yeah, Black Girl Magic. Don't hate on her because she's innovative." But the thing is, y'all don't understand this process, because even though, as you stated, even though Suno may say, based upon our tier, you got ownership of your masters, the U.S. copyright law says something completely different,
That's right.
right? And
That's
so
right.
the copyright law is going to trump whatever Suno says, because that's the highest level of copyright law in the country.
Yeah.
And
It
that's
is it is the regulation for intellectual property.
it is. Um, and so her stating that, one, I think is misinformation. Somebody is giving her misinformation, or maybe she's just taking that off of the strength of what she's reading on Suno. Suno's like, yeah, with this tier level, you'll get full copyrights. Maybe she Googled it to see what full commercial rights is, what it is. And it's like, oh, you own your master. So she's like, yeah, and I'll retain full ownership of my masters. There's nothing to own.
There's nothing to own.
Nothing to own. And I think that's what a lot of issues with with copyright in AI is, that there aren't any. The U.S. government has already come out and said that if you have 75% of AI in your body of work, it's not under that
It's
copyright.
basically, what do they call it? It's public domain.
Yeah, so you just put a song out there and anybody can go out there and do whatever they want to do with
It's
that.
jingle bells. It's it's You know, it's Mary Had a Little Lamb.
It-
It's anybody can copy it. It's public domain.
That's right. It's Winnie the Pooh now because they made a horror movie about that. But yeah, I mean, it is. You can't copyright a work with 75% of AI in the work itself. Even though if Suno gives you ownership contractually, it doesn't matter. The law is clear about what it states is that it probably almost 100% is not going to protect that that song. Period.
Right.
So, but it's just like, man, she's oh, I'm gonna own it. Well, no, yeah, you can own it, but
Right. And so can I. I can own it too. And that
exactly.
becomes dangerous. It's
They,
dangerous misinformation to those who are going to now think that, oh, okay, well, I can go out here and I can make whatever.
right,
And I also own mine. So then when they hear something that's similar to it, they're thinking, wait a minute, somebody's, ripping me off. No, you didn't. There was nothing for you to own in the first place. It's
that's
just
right.
like Isaac Hayes finding the same vocal and then creating a song, and
Mhm.
it's the same artist.
That's right.
So then who owns that master? Right?
Nobody.
Technically he does now, right?
Not if it's public domain.
So it's
Nobody.
public domain, just like because the vocal itself is.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody can use it if you purchase the software.
Mm-hmm. Yep. What up? What up, B? What's your thoughts, brother, on that? That's crazy.
No, I'm
He
just kind of
love
waiting to
AI.
see. I'm just kind of waiting to see. I think all this stuff is gonna come out in the wash in about, I don't know, 3 to 5 years. We'll have more clarity on, because even when you talked about you know not being able to copyright something, I see a lawsuit. I see something groundbreaking happening where a lawsuit, somebody will challenge that because how closely do you measure 75%? Um, if you play some of the music, but then some of the music is some of the instrument might be AI. So certain instruments, let's say you know how to play drums, so you did the drums for the track, but you got AI to come up with the melody, like you
Mm-hmm.
know. So now you're playing percentages, and I see somebody challenging that 75%
It's
rule.
gonna be rough too because who's to say what's the assigned percentage to each creative piece?
Exactly. So
Mm-hmm.
Right.
again, I'm just kind of sitting back. You say I like AI, but I'm just kind of I don't really have an opinion one way or the other. I'm just kind of sitting back and just I'm gonna let it all kind of play out. You know what I mean? And see.
Mm-hmm.
But I do stand by my point that AI is not going nowhere. It's not going anywhere, and it's gonna become more and more prevalent. So I think we need to figure out how to use it to our advantage. Instead of being so combative against it. But I do think, as in the case with this Monet artist and other artists, we'll see. I think that the rules are going to be made in the next 3 to 5 years, or maybe 10 years. I don't know, but the rules are going to be established for AI. It's not
Mm-hmm.
going
Yeah.
nowhere, but they're
Hey
going to be
Vaughn, what's the
they're
I
going
go
to
was
be
ahead.
rules though. They're,
yeah.
they're going to be
Yeah.
rules. They're going to be rules and guidelines, and I'm just curious to see what they will be.
Mm.
Do
Yeah. Me.
you guys know what's the name of that? I just saw a headline earlier today, maybe yesterday. Spotify took down a record that was a huge
Yeah.
smash hit. What you remember what the name of that?
Rundown. I think.
It was a smash record, and they didn't know that it basically was a complete AI record.
Yeah. I think it was called. Let me see. I'm always looking. I got the internet's up over here. Um. But I rundown. What did it say? I run. That's what it was. I run.
I run.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. They took it down because that song blew up. That song blew up to like number one,
It was
and
huge.
they were like,
And then it was like, oops, uh-oh.
but
Uh-oh.
have you heard the song?
Oh, it's a smash.
It's a smash.
I don't
It is
know.
a definite smash, bro. Like
It's a smash. It's
it
a
is.
dance,
It
up
is a.
tempo, EDM type record, but it's a smash.
It's a smash. I heard it. And I was like, ooh, ooh, like
I
just
haven't heard it.
yeah. It's definitely a smash. But so a person who produced it, Harrison Walker, he's out of London. He is the artist behind Haven. He said he insists the vocals are his own, heavily processed through effects and filters. He says he this is his own, even though he has some AI in it. It was co-produced by another beat maker, Jacob Donahue, was co-credited as co-producer on streaming platforms and mentioned as such an Instagram by Walker. So they're saying that we produce part, a big part of it. But yeah, there are some AI elements to it, and it's like, how
And
do you
then I
how
guess
do
what does Spotify run it through their own
well,
software and say, nah, this vocal has no origination from another vocal. This is an
mhm,
AI vocal
13 million
because I
streams.
think it was a vocal.
Now let's say he sues Spotify, right? He sues Spotify for it, and you know there are going to be standards that are going to be established
That's
for
right.
stuff
Yeah,
like this. You know what I mean? And we're
yeah,
going to have to investigate and find out, and then there are going to be rules of engagement. And I think that the music is going to be music industry is going to be looking different in terms from a creative space
Mm-hmm.
in the next 5 years. But I don't know, man. I don't know. It's crazy.
Yeah, I'm waiting to see how all this plays out because it is going to be ridiculous the way this that it transpires because that song got 13 million streams before they
see,
took it down. And Apple took it down as well. They said that Spotify strictly prohibits artist impersonation. The track was detected and removed, so which means it had to have some type of detection system, and no royalties were paid out for any streams generated. And so,
I don't believe that. So it must have ran them. Them streams must have came awfully fast because they pay out on a monthly basis for mechanicals.
yeah, it says social media
So
claimed the voice
either
belonged.
somebody flying or somebody lying.
It said the vocals belong to a British singer named Georgia Smith, citing the striking similarity between mystery vocalist and Smith's distinctive sound. But he came out and said, "No, it's me." He's like, "This is me. I'm the one that's singing. I'm singing. This is my voice. It's processed. Maybe I don't know. We not in your space to determine." He said, "I just wanted to jump on here and show that I am a real person." He's like, "But it's my vocals." So here's the crazy thing, though. I was watching this video today by a producer who lives here and who gets a lot of like free stuff sent to him so he can make videos on YouTube about it. And he was making a video about this new software called Resing. And so it's by IK Multimedia. And so it's an AI generated platform where you now it goes into your DAW, right? So it's something you pay for 129 bucks, 49 bucks, something like that. And you will sing
I
whatever
seen.
you seen it. You're singing whatever you want to sing until he was singing ABCs, and you just go in, load up the vocal, and choose a singer, and it re-sings the whole thing for you, and whoever vocal style you want it to be in, and then you
Yeah,
could throw that into your track, and then boom, you got a song that is you can put out. Now you
yeah.
could say I sang it, and I just had this AI thing re-sing what I already sang. So
So you think the guy in London or the guy in the UK, that's what he did? You think
I don't
he
know.
he, he might have sang it and then got this Georgia person's voice or a voice? That's the thing, man. It's
Well,
crazy.
Georgia,
I
well,
don't
Georgia,
know.
Georgia came out and said, "Yo, that's me," and I didn't actually sing that. So, like they copied my style, they copied my voice, but that's not me. And Harrison, this dude's come out and saying, "No, this is me, not you." And so that's why Spotify took it down because of artist impersonation.
And then you got uh, Victoria Monet saying that this Janai Monet resembles her,
Mm-hmm.
and was it what's her name? K Michelle saying I'm suing because that's my vocal style.
And Kalani out here don't like none of it. So,
So
I
it's
mean,
like we can't even like we led off with the Ray J thing and him talking about who he could sing better than and all of that. That guess what? That becomes an argument, a null and void argument once we just start allowing everybody to slap a plug-in on their vocal and
mm,
sing through a tone and a voice that's not theirs.
mm. Yeah, and that's what that resync is able to do. And resync is also able to take, kind of like what Suno is able to do, take your vocal and turn it into an instrument. So if you sing something, you need some horns, and you actually sing it, it'll turn into a horn. You can put that in your track. Now, I think that's a very creative way to use AI, right? I think that's a creative way to use it. But for you to have it make your entire song itself, I think that's the crazy thing. So we got somebody on here
And
saying, I have a lot of songs that I mix my voice without AI, but that's my new friend and fellow artist and label mate, King Apollo. Um, you know, I say you got to do what you. I don't know. I don't
the
know.
music industry
Not
is changing
not
as
sure.
we know it. It's gonna change, so
The
we
music
gotta
industry
figure
is
out.
burning. It's burning to the ground as we know it.
Maybe so, but as we know it, it's a key term you said, Ty. As we know it, it's burning to the ground. But there's gonna be something there because there's gonna be money to be made. There's gonna be a
Oh yeah.
music industry. It may look different, but there's
Hmm.
gonna be something there.
It's gonna
So
be money to be made.
It's going to definitely look
we
different.
gotta we, we
Not
gotta
by
figure
us.
out what we got to figure out what we want to do as creators. You feel what I'm saying? And
Mhm.
Creative, you
even to
better
the
learn how to
point,
play an instrument.
something. But listen, it might be live music. It might be a thing where recorded music might not mean as much, but it may be
You
who
hitting
can
on
do it live.
Yeah, you
Who
hitting
can
on
do it live with no effects, with no, that might be the thing. And
It,
maybe as a
but
musician
it's gonna be
and a
this
singer,
big. The
yeah,
market
it
right
might be
now is
underground.
this big.
maybe not. I
That's
don't know.
gonna become a niche.
You know what? It might go back to singing in hotel lobbies, at the piano. You know what I'm saying?
And how
It
much
may go
that
back to
pay?
that, to bar mitzvahs and weddings.
Hmm.
I'm being funny. I'm being funny, but literally, like, I don't know. But
Could
if this
be.
what you love, I'll stand on this though. This is all I'll say on it, and I pretty much have nothing else to say. I think if you really, really love the art and love what you do, you will find a way to do it. You know, maybe you won't get rich off of it no more. Maybe the nerds will take over. And that's kind of sad. But I don't know. But I do know that if you really love it, you will find a way to exist some kind of way, even if you underground. You know what I'm saying? Even if I don't know, but if you really love this, and the people who love, authentic music, I think they'll find a way to support you, and you might not be, this big superstar, but if you really love what you do and you're really put here to do it, you'll find a way. And I think a way will find you,
Yeah.
whatever, however that equates.
Yeah, I agree.
I agree. I
I-
agree. I just my concern is not that it will go away for good, but that it literally is a means for people to make a living currently, and it won't be anymore. There won't be enough
Well, I think
revenue that's created.
it just won't be by true musicians. I think people will make a living.
That's a
I
problem in itself. That's a
yeah,
whole separate,
I think
larger problem
I think it'll just switch from people who used to do
because
it for,
anybody can do it.
and now anybody can do it, and now anybody can make a living off of it.
But
And
you ever seen Rolling Loud, or I don't want to pick on them, but any major festival, and
mm,
you name the rapper or the singer, you name them, and they play the track, and they're literally like kind of talking over the actual recorded track. That should be more alarming to me because who's to say this girl who's on the Angela Yee podcast and on all this stuff? Who's to say she can't go somewhere and just press play and quote unquote perform? Because these performers not performing no more. They playing a track and they kind of singing and rapping over the track anyway.
mm,
That's kind of dangerous right there. So we got to get, maybe one thing we can do to combat this is to demand our performers actually perform without the track, because otherwise we really fucked. I mean, I'm sorry, we really messed up at that point. If 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 you can just press play, you can sell out a festival, and
yeah,
all you gotta do is press play. You don't even gotta sing it.
right.
Oh my gosh! So we got to get back
Right.
to demanding our performers, because then at least you can make room for the true artists who can really perform the song. You know what I'm saying? But these kids, these people, they go to these shows and they having a great time. I'm like, how can you be so? You can play this stuff at home. You can have a party at your house and jump up and down. You letting this performer come over here, walk around the stage, jump up and down, playing this song. You literally
Yeah,
look at that
but
person do do gymnastics, just jumping up and down. They're not performing. They just jumping up and down. They're not singing. They're not
Mhm.
rapping. They jumping up and down to a pre-recorded track. That's what we got to fight. Like really?
I I I agree, right? But I think that it's a layered scenario because at the same time we also talk about being authentic and true to yourself and
Mhm.
having people like you as well as liking your music. And a lot of times those people are in that audience and they jumping up and down and they're excited because they feel like there's something about that artist that resonates with them in addition to the music, and
Mhm.
so they've almost earned the ability to be able to stand up there and lip sync the record because people love Kodak, right? So if Kodak get up there and Kodak Black lip sync every song, they don't care. They see Kodak. They love him. Probably
Mhm.
what he got on or what he done took off while he was up on the stage. And because they feel like that's the authentic version of who he is, they love that. And as an artist, you can earn that by having a persona or a personality, whether it's even true to yourself or not, but if it becomes something that resonates with an audience.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
talking about fighting
But for
AI. Though. We talking about
some,
fighting
if
AI.
you if you Mario, you might not know nothing about my personal life as Mario that resonates with you, but you know when I grab this mic that I'm about to sing and it's not going to be no backtrack because this is what I do and this is what I do best, and then
Mhm.
people love him for that. If you Maxwell, people come to a Maxwell show because they love the fact that Maxwell gonna get up there and he gonna put on the show and his mic is on,
Mhm.
right? But certain artists, you don't really care. Like you love it if SWV get up there and sing the song live, but if they don't, like you not going home angry. Like you gonna sing the songs anyway. It just depends on the artist, but a lot of times those artists have some, not all. You're not wrong. I agree, and I'm not disagreeing, but I'm saying it's kind of a layered thing for certain artists that can get away with just going over the top of a backing
Right.
track, and others that cannot. A lot of times, it just depends on what kind of relationship they have built with their fan base.
No, yeah, and if they have ever gone through the process of actually developing themselves to be actual real live performers. So,
I mean, Britney Spears never sang. One of the biggest pop stars in the game, and she never performed without a backtrack. Stop playing. She wasn't
She
about to
got
give
away
you
with
them
that.
vocals. Somebody
She
said
got away
Cardi
with that
lip
too.
sync at times, Ray J lip sync all the time. That's a fact. But the fans that love those artists,
lip syncing right along with them.
right
Maybe we
along
got
with
to
them.
start.
Along with them.
Maybe we got to start a podcast calling artists out that don't perform their. But here's my question: is how do you even know though? I remember going to my favorite R&B group of all time is Jodeci. I went to a Jodeci concert a couple years ago in Cincinnati, Ohio, at the Cincinnati Music Fest, and I remember wondering because JoJo was singing. I was wondering, is that really JoJo? Was that a track? I was really trying to the whole concert. I'm trying to study and analyze. Is
Mm.
he really singing?
That's
Him in
the key
particular. I
too,
know KC
though.
was singing. What's
That's
that?
the key too, though, B, because artists kind of bank on the fact that everybody don't know.
Mm-hmm.
People who
I
sing,
was
people who work in the business, they know when they hearing a backtrack. But
I
the
was racking my
average
brain.
consumer, they
Yeah,
banking on the fact that 80% of their ticket sales went to average consumers.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and we enjoyed the show. I enjoyed the show, but I'm thinking like it was a little couple clues here and there, and I'm like, because I'm like, because He didn't talk much to show. He didn't even talk much, but he was doing. And so I'm like,
Yeah, that's why. That's exactly why. He ain't talking a
He had to
lot.
stay on time with that track. He couldn't deviate.
yeah,
You know,
exactly. So but it's like I don't know, man. I'm just trying to figure out ways that we can exist because I think AI is coming strong, and I just think that
of
with
course.
the way people perform over tracks, it, that's like open lane for somebody who does AI music. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
You know, Milli Vanilli 2028. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know.
Yeah, I
Millie,
mean, I've even had, people make the argument, you know, I've seen some musicians that are like, I'm not worried about AI because I can play instruments, and
mhm.
and people want to see that. They're not wrong, but let's not act like holograms don't exist. Let's not act like people aren't going to
Yeah.
these parties where everybody's wearing headphones and they're not even listening to an artist. They're dancing to music that's being played through headphones. A silent party, I think they call them.
Mhm.
Like there are audiences and
Parties.
consumer bases for these things that are virtual experiences that are
Right.
not authentic and grounded, real experiences. And
Mhm.
so, as much as those gain momentum, and you can say there's room for them all, there is. But the reality is, in order for there to be room for them all, we all had to scoot over a little bit. And the
Mhm.
more we scooting over, the less money that we're able to make as the consumers of, or the creators of what is being
Mhm.
consumed. You, I have a very close relative that is an entertainment attorney, and I had to say to them, to put it in perspective for them. You know how you made X amount of dollars last year off of helping producers and engineers uh, um, secure their royalties, secure their credits,
Mhm.
contractually secure publishing. When I use Suno, I don't need an engineer or a producer.
You need anything.
And if you ask a producer or an engineer who's ever heard a mix that came out of those programs, oh, them mixes is tighter than tube socks. So now,
Yeah.
what used to take 5 or 10 or 15 people all receiving commerce, the exchange of goods and services, those things are no longer happening.
Yeah. I mean, you no longer need the engineer. You no longer need the producer. You no longer need the mastering engineer because you can
No,
actually you can actually make the song
you
in.
don't need a lawyer either.
No, well, you probably gonna need one of them. You probably gonna need.
They
Yeah.
think they don't.
You probably gonna you probably gonna need a lawyer.
They
So
on TV talking about they own the masters.
if they don't, that's because they don't know.
So what?
They don't know how to stuff. They ain't reading them books, and so they don't know how stuff work. They're not studying what industry they're actually in. They're going off what somebody tell them. Girl, you know you own your masters. Girl, I do. Yup. You
Ty
know.
is on the
I say,
Ty
yep.
don't rock with AI, man. Ty is in the
Look,
war against AI big time.
look,
Hey
Ty,
man, I rock with AI. I just think that we have to set benchmarks, parameters,
it's right.
regulations.
I
I
believe
keep
that.
saying that. You rewind the tape. I say it every single time. I'm not saying I'm against it. Everybody who knows me knows that I am an early adapter, and the reason that I speak so confidently on these things is because I have utilized them. I understand how they work, and I understand the global impact of them. And I think that sometimes people only see how they impact them in their box, and they're not looking at how, because they were so conveniently were able to do something, that they eliminated the people that were outside of that box, and that some of those people count on that to be able to buy groceries, to be able to put gas in their car, to be able to pay their mortgage.
I mean, when you think about it, I mean, AI, I mean, has become a disruptor to the music industry, right? So when you think of industries like the cab companies, the hotels, I mean, people are still going to hotels, right? That's a fact. People are still taking cabs. That's a fact. But Uber and Lyft came into the whole picture and kind of disrupted the whole thing. Airbnb came into the picture and kind of disrupted the whole thing. Now, it didn't completely eliminate the need for the hospitality industry or the transportation industry. It was a disruptor to say, hey, we are able to still do these things and allow other people to do it and reap benefits from it. And I think that's what's happening in AI. It's like, yeah, y'all can still do what y'all doing, but now it has opened up a door for us to step into this industry that we may have little knowledge of, little skill in, but now we're able to do the things that I think we probably wanted to do when we were little. We just never developed the musical competency in order to do it effectively. So Suno gives us that ability to do it. Um, and it is a disruptor, right? It is, but people still survive with Lyft and Uber. People still survive with Airbnb. It's just figuring out how do you maximize it, how do you use it, and what boundaries do you set around it. Lyft and Uber had to set guidelines and boundaries and policies and procedures of for their employees. Same thing with Airbnb. There are governance when it comes to those things. Same things are going to happen with AI. So
To some extent,
Well, see,
right? Unfortunately, I feel like the arts are different because even in those industries, you got to understand that at some point, one or two things are gonna have to happen.
the AI
Like
pot.
you either gonna have to piss or get off the pot. You know why? Uber drivers, Lyft drivers, gonna have to get together and create some kind of union because Waymo and Tesla say we don't need drivers,
Right. We don't need drop. So they're trying to be a disruptor to the industry.
right? And then people keep saying, "Well, I keep hearing people. We, as a society, we have a habit of just repeating things that we hear
Mm-hmm.
that kind of resonate with us in a moment without actually even thinking them through.
Mm-hmm.
So I keep hearing people say, we're just going to shift the workforce. Everybody's just going to have to do something different because these things we won't be needed for. And to that I say, who here has ever had a job that they didn't really like or want,
I mean,
but have been doing it for
who's
quite
ever
a
had?
while,
I mean, I think that's everybody in some way.
right? And so you had that job, you didn't really like it, but you had been doing it for a while. How quickly did you shift to doing something different? You didn't. Most of us are still
No,
doing those same jobs
because you become
because
you.
it's easy to say we just gonna shift gears, but that's not the mentality of a human in themselves.
No, you're right. That's facts.
We've
But
all said, I can't stand this job or this line of work, and we still in that line of work.
we look at them bills and go, I got to be here.
There you
Well,
go.
but there's
So
other,
now
but that's because there's other factors that drive that though. There are other external.
them factors not going away.
No, it's not. But in that sense, I know that if I take it becomes a risk because now if I decide to leave that place of employment, I know that there's going to be a period of time that I'm not going to have any income. So hopefully, I've gone through a process of saving up things so that if I do decide to shift, I'm prepared. And I think that's the thing. I think a lot of people in the industry aren't prepared for what's
They're
about.
not prepared. Most people live check to check and they live in the negative.
Yeah,
In
fact.
addition to living check to check, a lot of people, they say less than 50% of the population invests in any type of retirement fund. So
Yeah.
therefore, there is no extra money, right? And then you can ask the other question: who has ever tried to change fields of work, but were told that they needed X amount of experience in that field in order to get that work?
Mm-hmm.
But if you're working in a different field, do you have that experience?
Yep.
How many lawyers go to school and when you get out of school, you go looking for a job as a lawyer, and every firm is looking for a seasoned lawyer? Well, how do you get seasoned if you
Yep.
just got out of school?
And that is the dichotomy, right? How do you gain the experience you need for the field that you want to go in if the field that you want to go in doesn't allow you to gain the experience that you need? That's always a conundrum.
So then you say, okay, well, all the admin jobs are going to go away, but all the electrician and plumber jobs will still be there.
They're about to go up, though. Them jobs about to go up.
Oh, yeah.
They're about to
And
go up.
what also is about to go up is your student loans. Because now you got to go to school in order to get one of them skill sets because you don't have it.
Exactly. You got to go to trade school.
So as quickly as we keep saying, oh, we just going to pivot, tell me more. Tell me how easy this pivot looks, because I'm not seeing it. Everybody I know at some point in time has stayed at a job way longer than they wanted to, because why? It's complicated.
Or it's comfortable. So
hey, if you love music, you're gonna find a way.
you're gonna find a way. Now,
If you love music, and you don't keep on doing music, some people
Yeah.
say when they love a job, hey, I'll do it for free. Well, we're about to find out if that's really true. For real, we're about to find out because
you really in
again,
free. Yeah.
we're about to find out how much
That's
you
a
love it.
bar.
You're about
It's a
to
fact.
find,
That's a bar.
man.
It's a fact.
So it
For
look
for 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 a lot of us, not for everybody. For a lot of people, though, we're gonna about to find out.
right. That's right.
That's a bar.
Man, look. This says it could become the AI segment. We 56 minutes in, and we ain't get to. We only on topic number one.
On topic number one. But we say all that to say, even in that scenario, educate yourselves thoroughly and fully in terms of, if you decide to do these things, what are the stipulations? What are your rights? What do you own as a copyright? What is the master, and do you own the master? And is it worth trying to figure out if you know that you have the capability to do these things yourself
Man,
as an
look.
independent? What, you about to pull the book out? You about to pull out the book? Buy
Man,
this book.
yo, look, because knowledge is hidden in books, people. Go read. They put these books. Hold on, look, I got this book. I'm reading this. Yeah, boom, go, bam. Business basics for musicians, right? I got a whole, bro. The information is there. Now it may need to be updated. I'm telling you, all these books are gonna have to be updated with all new stuff.
Oh, big time.
Big time. So all these writers, they're about to go back to rewrite all these books over again, because now they're
Big
gonna
time.
include all of the AI stuff into that. But man, can we talk about number 4? Can we talk about number 4? Can we talk about number 4?
What's for? Is that the Usher?
Yeah. Can we talk about that?
Let's talk about it.
I think there's lessons in there.
A lot of lessons.
A lot of lessons in that one. And from an indie perspective, I think that's important to talk about. I think all the other ones are important too, but definitely something like this. Of course, y'all know Usher is the headlines is that Usher is suing Brian Michael Cox, but right, like that's your boy. So Usher is suing Brian Michael Cox, right? So I want to make it first. We're not here for we're not here to gossip that about that, but I think there's important lessons in this thing. So of course, headlines: Usher suing Brian Michael Cox and 4 others for a failed business restaurant deal that they were going to start up in Buckhead. Usher initially did not want to be part of the process or owner. And
he didn't want to be a partner.
Yeah, he didn't want to be a partner in this whole thing. So he said, "Look, I'll be the bank though, and I'll give you some money so that you guys can go do what y'all do." And Usher loaned them 1.7 milli, right? And so that money was supposed to be used to go purchase the building for I forgot the name of the actual restaurant that's supposed to be there now.
It was Ocean something. Is what they were trying to buy. It was called Ocean something in Buckhead. Ocean View.
Yeah, something like that. And so the money that Usher gave them went into the attorney's bank account, so that it could be in that account and that's where it's really supposed to go. It's really not supposed to go to any personal bank account. It's supposed to go into a bank account that is set up specifically for that in escrow, so that they could then use the funds to purchase the building. Right? Y'all don't know escrow.
Yes.
Go out and find out. Right? But that's how it was really supposed to set up, so that they can go out and acquire this property. And so they never went through the process of buying the building. The deal fell through, and Usher was like, "Yo, where my bread at? Run me my." He was like, "Yo, run me my bread."
A
Right?
year later.
A year later.
He want more though. He want more than what he gave.
Well, yeah, but there's a thing with that, right? So he does want more than what he gave. So they gave him $1 million back. So he got $1 million back. He is still out $700,000. Now, I mean, Usher could have jumped the gun and be like, "Hey, y'all didn't give my 700." But it's coming. But so the question is, if they had it, why didn't they just give the whole 1.7 million back? So that's a point. But now he is suing them for $4.9 million, which million, right? Which is 700,000 times 7 infractions that he has listed, right? The biggest one was fiduciary responsibility, right? Which is probably one of the most important pieces in this whole thing, is to say that I gave you this money. I'll break it down in the simplest term. I gave you this money, and you were supposed to do, like Whoopi Goldberg said in The Color Purple, you were supposed to do right by me, and right, that's fiduciary responsibility. They didn't,
right.
and so Usher's like, you didn't do right by me, and so that's one count. Breach of contract, that's another count. So there are 7 accounts, 7 strikes that are worth $700,000 a piece, which equals up to the $400.9 million.
Right.
Ooh. I was like, ooh. But I think the important lesson in here is for independence is how you do business with friends. How you do how do you do business with people that you know? How do you do business in general with investors? Period. Whether they're your friends or not, right? And I'm hoping that Usher and his lawyer and the rest of the group and their lawyers had all of the contracts written up, the business agreement between what was going to happen. Usually in these types of deals, there's some type of collateral that is put up to say that if something happens, then this is collateral we're using to kind of back this $1.7 million or whatever the funding is for that commercial property. So I don't know if any of that happened and what the deal was like, and if there was any clear agreements. Because sometimes we do stuff on homeboy strength, like, yo, you my guy, here you go, right? You're my man's.
1.7 million.
1.7 mil, but
that's about a homeboy strength for right there. Like,
no,
It
like
is.
B. That's
even for wealthy people.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's like, even for wealthy people who are wealthy, giving money to other wealthy people, is it really a lot? It's like, it may be $700 to us, maybe
It's not a
$1,000
lot.
to us, but to them, it's like, yo, I got $80 million. What's one? It reminds me of when Jay-Z went into his pocket, he had $1. He was like, "What's this?" That's kind of how I see it. It's like, yo, that's $1 to me. I got 150 million. 1 million is $1 to me.
Yeah, what's the song they say? I'm about $1. What is 50 cents? So
Right.
what's not being said here, sadly, Brian Michael Cox is catching strays. So they're saying Usher is suing Brian Michael Cox, but it's just because that's the name that
The biggest
is a
name.
notable name attached to the lawsuit.
Right.
Brian Michael Cox is really not the entity that's being sued in regards to money and damages owed. The actual person is the lawyer that was supposed to be creating the escrow account for the money to go into. He hit Usher's people up and was like, I need the bread. They put the bread in the escrow account. And then my man's allegedly pull 700 Grizzy out the 1.7. Had nothing to do with Brian Michael Cox,
Right.
but he was part of the deal because, of course, he was a partner in the attempt to purchase and rebrand the restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
But he's the most notable name, right?
Mm-hmm.
Multi-time Grammy winner, Billboard accomplished. I mean, all the artists that he's worked with. So they saw his name, they saw Usher's name on opposite sides of the spectrum, and they just said that's who's suing who.
Right.
It's not that simple. Not only that, to your point, B, about who you would give 1.7 to, what they're also not mentioning is that there is another investor in this group, which was formerly Usher's assistant and manager
Mm.
and great friend, literally family at this point. His
Mm.
name is also in that suit. Yeah, he would give this guy the money because it was only supposed to be money that was needed to purchase the building,
Right.
not to go into a partnership with them, but a loan to secure the real estate and then turn around and they would make their money back and Usher
Right.
would get his money back.
Yeah,
But they
and
never even bought the building.
exactly. they never
Crazy.
they never purchased a building. So I mean, like I said, I mean, people, if you're out there doing business, I don't care if it's $70, $700, $700,000. If you're going to do a business deal with someone, please make sure you have business contracts set up. Please make sure that you understand what those business contracts say. Please make sure that you have these deals and that you're talking through the deals with the people that you are working with, right? Yeah, I get it. We're homies, we're friends. That's my man's and all. But right now we're doing business. I want to make sure that I protect your interests and I protect my interests. And the only way that we can do that is, whether you hate it or not, is through some type of contractual deal. People hate signing contracts. They sign contracts when they're ready and they get schemed out of those contracts. But you gotta
Isn't
have
that crazy? If your
you got
friend asks you to sign a contract, you looking at him sideways. But a stranger asks you to sign a contract and there's some money tied to it, you running to sign that joker.
that's right. And you ready. You ready. And so
That's right. The attorney is the one who has the money.
that's right.
The money went to an escrow account,
I got my
and
nightbot
so
work.
therefore,
Yeah, no, that's I mean, said that's true, bro. It's like you gotta have clear agreements, because when it's your homies, you're like, think about how many times you probably go into the studio and it's like, hey, okay, cool, we made this song, but now we gotta do split sheets. Man, we don't want to do
yeah,
splits, man. We know who did what, bro. Like, you know what you get, you know what you get. And then by the time that song come out and that song blow up and it's like, yo, I did 50% of that song. It was like, no, you didn't. It was like, but how do you know I ain't do 50%? We ain't never signed nothing. Yo, I'm telling you this, you want to protect yourself? This is the way to do it. Don't go into deals without contractual agreements, clear agreements. Make sure you sit down and talk through those
yeah,
agreements. Now, you're dealing with somebody like Usher, you know what I'm saying? I'm sure he got lawyers on lawyers. You got somebody
yeah,
like Brian Michael Cox or this other attorney who is an attorney. So I'm sure that they know how to do this. Do this. Um, but for us indies, we may not know how to do it, and we may need somebody to kind of walk us through that process. So never be afraid to get an attorney. Make sure that the attorney is a unbiased individual that is in this process, that is not going to choose sides or pick sides or in there to kind of, finesse the deal or whatever the case. But you
yeah.
gotta
But in this case, to Said's point, or adverse to Said's point, this is not a hypothesis. A hypothesis is a proposed explanation. It's fact. These are
fact.
public documents. You can
Yep.
go and actually pull up and read the scenario itself as to why the lawsuit was filed and who is at fault.
Mm-hmm.
It's we're not speculating. This isn't
Now,
a
I think
prognostication right here.
now,
That's actually what happened.
now I think he was saying it was an interesting hypothesis when we were talking about the fact that people don't want to sign contracts when they deal business with homies, but will sign a contract quickly when
Oh,
they're
really?
a record label or, you know, and they would.
Oh, I feel like most people are offended if they homie asked them to sign a contract.
Right.
But I also feel like
They
now
get it.
this would be a hypothesis. I feel like in this scenario, I feel like Usher probably told
No, no, hold on. Wait. He said he didn't say
and
that.
paid to get scammed.
Okay. So I need to
That's
go in
a
there.
fact.
Need to go in there and look at my Nightbot and watch what my Nightbot saying. I need my Nightbot to monitor the Nightbot because the Nightbot is supposed to be a chat mod. So when you got people who are in there doing spam and advertisement and all that, it's supposed to, you know, clamp down on those. But he was like I didn't say that. The Nightbot said it.
Wow.
So we got AI out here putting in comments for you, which is so crazy. Not to go back to the whole AI thing, but I know
That's wild.
you sent me that thing with the lady, the AI lady was chatting with the dude on FaceTime and was recording the whole thing and putting it. Yeah, no, y'all got to be careful
And
out
put
here. But
another face up there.
it could be a child
Yeah,
face.
my sister was telling me that she showed something similar to that to my parents so that they would know, hey, if somebody call you or if you get a call and you think it's me and they saying something wild style, you need to know like these are some of the cues to look for
Facts,
as to whether or not you can tell whether or not it's really me.
facts. Exactly. That's
You
right.
got to tell people what AI looks like, you know,
That's
what some I mean, at some point, obviously, because it's a learning model, they're gonna fix all of that too, and we're not gonna be able to tell as easily.
that's right. You can tell that one chick was a Terminator. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right. That's right. But right now, you can look at most of these and you can find the flaw, or you
mhm,
can see the difference in skin textures or the mannerisms or movements, or even, you know, whether it's 3D, 4D, you can you can see the difference in the depth of a real person versus
mhm.
AI. But it's a learning model. It's gonna get better.
That's right. It's gonna get better. It's gonna get better. So
But in the case of this other thing, I think Usher probably even, and this is a hypothesis of mine. This is me speculating. I think Usher probably told, "Hey, Brian, hey, Keith, that's the other person who used to be his assistant. I'm gonna have to go ahead and sue this dude. I know y'all names are attached to it, but I'm giving y'all a heads up. This was about to happen
mm,
because my man tried to walk off with 700K, and if I let one dude do it, it'll be many others after.
right.
So I
I can't
can't let that happen. Even
have
though that 700K that probably don't mean nothing to Usher, the principle alone is like I need to let people know they're not gonna play with my name or my money.
facts. That's right. That's that's facts. Whew. We got time for this one. We got time for one more quick discussion. Want to talk about it?
Yeah, let's do it.
He
Because
talked
you
about.
saw, you saw Brian Michael Cox did put out a
He
statement,
did.
right?
He was like, "Yo, that's in my
And he was
man's."
like, I ain't got nothing to do with it, really.
He
Me and
was
my
like,
brother, we good.
we good. That's still my man's. We had a conversation about it. We good.
Yeah,
So
we good. Now it's somebody that is getting sued, but it ain't really me.
yeah.
And if
So
you go and look at the actual documents, they all use LLCs. So it's not like it's in their name to where, you know, they would be individually liable for the damages.
that's right. Yeah, do good business, y'all. Like, and you know they can't really control what the attorney does and doesn't do. I mean, if you got a good attorney who is supposed to be in the right frame of mind, to do good, clean business, then yeah. Um,
Yeah.
but obviously, this attorney was like, "Yo, I got 700,000. I'm finna go and I'm finna do whatever I want to do with it."
And
And so,
had no explanation for what he did with it.
nope. And Usher's like, Psh,
The documents are online. You can look them up.
"You can look them up. They all there, all there."
I'm only saying that because I already got the documents and I already read them.
Oh, dang.
I
Hey.
already, I already took them and put it in GPT. No,
Oh Lord, no, I didn't do that.
yeah, he's like, you wanna quickly talk about Made or Paid, the real formula behind the indie hits? Want to talk
Yeah,
about?
this is one that keeps resurfacing and it's out here a lot. And I'm curious what B's take on this is because I feel like it affects a lot of promotion, DJs, even people like us, podcasters. Like, these records are not hits because they just hits. It
Mm-hmm.
take some bread or some motion that's created by other entities.
Mm-hmm.
So for the independent, that's like, I got my record. My record is a smash, but I'm not getting the attention that the major label artist is. I really just want to make sure that independents understand why it is that those records got the motion that they got.
Yeah, who was it that that did the video about it? The phone call was it? It was Gunna,
Gunna
uh,
and Thug.
and Thug. Yeah, yeah. I think Thug was talking
It
about
wasn't it wasn't Gunna on the phone. Gunna
no, no.
was on the phone with somebody else, but he was
Thug,
talking
Thug on the
about
phone.
Thug.
What you say, B?
Was it Thug on the phone talking about Gunner?
It was
Yeah, yeah,
Thug
yeah,
on the phone talking about Gunna, but he was talking to somebody else, and he was
Yeah,
telling them how he put the money up to get the streams to ensure that
yeah,
the album was number one first week out.
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And you know the bottom line
And
is
then said, you see
it
what
takes
he's saying?
the label spent 14 million on Britney Spears to get her popping.
Yeah, I mean, I remember when QC was really at their height. I saw a panel where Coach K and QP was talking about it takes like a $250,000 minimum to get a record to be a hit. You know, so we've heard that all before. I think for the independent artists, I always talk about how you got to take what the majors do and try to bring it down to your level. You know, and I think LaRussell was even talking about recently how much money he spends on ads
Mm-hmm.
uh,
Saw that.
regularly. And I think that you just gotta understand that, like, it's a pay to play kind of society. You know, even with social media, we have these profiles with all these followers that don't mean nothing. You know what I mean? Like when you put
Right.
out something on your page, you it's not gonna get seen unless you magically get picked up by the algorithm or you pay for it to be promoted. So everything is about finding the right strategy to pay to get it in front of people. If you believe in your song, you got to be able to pay for it, pay for some kind of promotion behind it. And from the highest levels to even the smallest levels, when you talk about a moderate hit, quote unquote hit, it's gonna cost you something. So you
Mm.
got to figure out, if you got to figure out how to market and promote it, what it's gonna cost, and what your goals are. Are you trying to get, a certain amount of streams? Are you trying to get record sales? Are you trying to be able to build a fan base who recognize you so you can go on tour and do shows? Figure out what you want to do, but it ain't like it's just you put out a song and you know you magically organically get traffic. Them days are over, in my opinion.
Mm.
It's over
I
with.
agree.
It's over with. You
Yeah,
gotta have a budget,
yeah.
some kind of budget.
Yes, it's like said, it's a business. Your music is a product, and I think that's he said I think that's where artists don't understand. It is your music is a business. You are a business. Your music is the product, right? You are selling your product to the masses. It costs money to make money, right? Had Wendy Day on here, and she was talking about it's what she, B. What she say, B? What she say? How much it cost to
Uh,
break 150,000?
it's in the six figures.
It's in the six figures,
In the
easy.
six figures.
Yeah, I think she said it was when we interviewed. I think she said it was 150 for her $150,000 that she uses throughout the year to break an artist. I think I heard, as you said, Big QC said it talks about it's a quarter mil. It takes money. It takes money, a lot of money, especially if you want to reach at a certain level, right? And a lot of independents we don't have that type of bread sitting around, you know, in our bank accounts like that. Which why for me I say I think our jobs are great investors, and even if you look, even if you're putting money in your 401k, which I think is a great vehicle to use, you're putting money in your 401k. If you have it within an organization that matches what you put in up to a certain percentage, right? Then you can go through a process. Maybe when you're working on your project, a year later, when you're ready to say, "Hey, I'm ready to do this," you can go into your 401k and take out a $50,000 loan. Right now, you're probably going to pay like about $100 back. That's why I like 401ks, because it's not like banks where your interest rate is going to be high and your payment back to them is going to be $500-$600 a month. You can actually go into your 401k when you take out the loan and set what the payment is going to be over a certain number of years, whatever that duration is going to be. Um, so yeah, it's right. 150K for that, and so we don't have 150K just laying around. So how do we get finances? How do we get money? I think I heard I saw an episode of Isaac Hayes the third on the Social Proof podcast, which I tell you I don't watch anymore, but I just happened to see a clip because it was on his thing, right? It was on his. I'm just saying it was on his thing, uh, and he was talking about how he took an advance for his music, because his music was already being played on a lot of reality TV, but he took an advance on that, and so they gave him a lump sum of money that they were going to recoup over a certain period of time, because he took out this loan. He didn't have to pay. He didn't necessarily have to pay it back himself, because they were going to recoup it back off the payments for what he was getting already in sync. That is a great way to do that as well. There's also other organizations out here that can give you that same type of advance on your music. It takes money. It takes a lot of money. What it said to say? It also depends on what genre of music you're in. I know a local band who spends 75K in recording production alone. Some people, look, you got a rich parent.
Hey,
Hey, you just gotta
how much? Go ahead, Tom.
you just got to figure out what's right for the genre of music that you're in. He's absolutely right. Um, if you're a live band, then that you can try to make that money back by doing live shows.
Mhm.
But you got to invest in, that recording process. If you're a pop artist, I don't know. You might as well put your head between your legs and kiss your ass goodbye, because there's. It's not like you can just go to a club and perform pop records. You've got to
Got to pop.
have financial backing to get radio support, to get social media outlet support, to get PR and radio support, as it is for pop. R&B, you can build grassroots, right? You can do local nightclubs. You can do hole in the wall type. Same thing with hip hop. You can do that. But a lot of those things you got to pay for, whether it's the DJ, sometimes it's even the stage time itself, whether it's the promotional flyers for the event itself. That's why I just always tell artists, keep going. Like, they put the music out, and then when it don't pop like they wanted to, they stop. If you're not walking around with a bag of money that you can get to where you want to go, you just got to keep going. You've got to keep putting music in front of people so that they have an opportunity to experience it. You can't stop and just feel like everybody heard it and they didn't like it. Everybody didn't hear it. Maybe about 30 people heard it.
Exactly.
Apple is killing me as a publisher, but
Hey, Ty,
yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree 100%. Keep putting music up. I agree 1,000%. But the $1 million question is, no pun intended, is how much does it cost to get 1,000 fans? That should be everybody's goal. How much is it going to cost me to gain? And somebody can figure. I don't know the answer, by the way,
Hmm.
but figure out how much does it cost to get 1,000 fans. And when I say 1,000 fans, y'all know the adage, right? If you a listener of this program, 1,000 fans paying you $100 a year, that's $100,000, right? That's a full time music career. How much is it gonna cost me to build 1,000 fans who over the course of a year will spend $100 with me, either through music purchases, merchandise, live performances, whatever the case? How much will it cost? Whoever can figure that out and put it in the book will have a bestseller to And maybe somebody on this program will figure it out and
It
help
isn't a
us
book.
out.
I
How
don't
much?
I don't do the math, but Ari in that book, How to Make It in the New Music Industry Business book by Ari Herstand, he actually figured it out. There are people that are literally making a living off of their music. They figured out how to get 1,000 fans to spend $100 with them every year. Like they literally
how,
figured.
how does that equate to how much? Like, what do you like? How much money
What
are
did
we
they
talking
spend?
in,
Yeah.
in order to build this up? Because that's the key.
Mm-hmm.
That's and what I mean is
And I think that's
do it at
different
your
by
level.
genre.
You may not have a quarter million to promote for your, but you might have 25,000, 50, 10,000. How much does it cost to build 1,000 fans? That's
Mm-hmm.
what I want to figure out.
Mm-hmm.
How
Yeah, I think
much?
it's gonna be different by genre. You got to
Maybe
think if you doing hip hop or you doing R&B, you've got a better chance of going to do. If we just talking about Atlanta, you can go do Eddie's Attic, you can go do Apache, you can go try to do Center Stage or Vinyl, or
Mm-hmm.
you can those smaller venues. You can do that. If you're doing pop, you can't do none of that. If you're doing country, you could probably do the Tabernacle, but you probably got to first do Eddie's Attic and some other hole in the wall type places. And as you do that, you've spent money, like B said. Figure out how much money you're gonna spend on merch. How much money you gonna spend on your branding to get people to buy T-shirts, or to get people to buy stickers, or to get people to buy membership or access to a website that gives them exclusives and first look.
And BTS, all that stuff, right?
Yeah,
There has to
yeah.
be a
But a
way.
lot of times you gotta do a lot free before you can even start charging. You gotta show the consumer that you have a product that's worth paying money for.
You got to
Yeah.
do it for free, and you got to figure out. You got to pay, and hopefully you can get that payment to get that product in front of the right people that
Mm-hmm.
will rock with you. But it ain't free. Like I said, Instagram, TikTok. Listen. If y'all been living under a rock, that stuff is targeted now. You gotta pay to get that in front of people, or else you just posting stuff and in a sea of the ocean. It ain't like it was 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago. You post something, ain't nobody gonna see it unless you pay to get it in front of. And then you gotta figure out. Cause see, I think Instagram and Facebook and TikTok, they're making a killing
They are.
of a selling ads, but you don't know how to run the ads right.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You paying to get promoted, and you not making much traction because you're not really getting in front of your targeted people that you
For
need to get in front
audience.
of.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a whole nother can of
Yo, it's
worms.
a whole nother thing. And that's a whole nother thing, bro, is that you got people running ads that don't know how to run the ads. You got people
Yeah,
who are trying to do things on YouTube and social media that don't know how to even identify the right target audience to put their
yeah.
music in front of. And
That's why I tell you that's part of what I do at my company, and I see it where people are just like they want to run the ads. They don't even know or care where the ads are run to. It's not that simple.
it's not.
It's not that simple. And then you have to ask yourself, say for example, it's there's a ton of these Instagram or TikTok pages where it might be R&B music only, or
Mhm.
this is R&B, and you want to put you want to promote your song or your project on those sites. You got to then ask yourself, what does that investment look like?
Mhm.
If you give them $500, what are they giving you back? Is it one post? What's the likelihood of of a ton of people seeing your one post, and you know that they're posting 10 times every hour, and your post is now getting pushed down?
It's facts.
You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of nuance to it, which is why sometimes it benefits to actually invest in a marketer to do those things for you. but at least you know that you're investing in a analytic way of trying to target your audience.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like LaRussell said, he started out doing that, and then once he kind of got a feel for what was working and what wasn't, then he just took it over himself. But he
Mm-hmm.
also used a lot of those services initially.
Yeah, that's the key, man. You got to have somebody who's smart about it, that knows about it, and that can really use whatever funds you're going to take and know how to maximize it in the
Like
right
you're getting
direction.
a bang for your buck.
Right, for your bang for your buck. Because trust me, there's a lot of people that are out here that will say that they're going to do something or say, and granted, I was susceptible to some of those. I was like, oh, that looks like a great deal. Let me go and take advantage of that. And then I
Hey, you
go,
live and you learn.
oh, you live and you learn. I was like, yeah, I want to promote this video right here. And yo, this, yeah, they said you can get between this and this, right? You can get between 1,000 to 3,000 views, $50. But then you go and look at it and they're like, oh, we can give you this many followers on Instagram. Then you look and they're all like from like India or like Russia.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then what good does that do your true
N-
reach?
None.
Your target audience. Like, yeah, they'll get you a number, but is that people who are actually going to patronize your
It's hurt.
content?
It's
It's
imperative.
more than
It's
helping.
imperative that you learn how to do it or find somebody and pay them to do it
Find
to
somebody.
target because they're collecting so much money from people
Mhm.
that
It's hard to
'cause
find somebody too that's going to do it with integrity, but you're right. You got to find somebody if you can't do it yourself.
That's
or
right.
study. Take some time to study and learn.
You may have to.
Study and learn.
You may have. Oh, you can go to Smart Cadence Media. All right. Look, maybe we should hire them to do all of our marketing. But look, Ty's like, I ain't say it, but hey, we here though. I mean, he ain't never offered. I'm just saying. No, I'm joking. But yeah, bro, you gotta. So that's the thing, right? Are songs made or paid? Yeah, they're made,
Right.
right? I mean, but they're definitely paid for.
Hey,
You
yeah.
think that all these artists
The
are
answer is yes and yes.
yes and yes, but they're absolutely paid for, right? Absolutely. Look, yeah, that's right. Said again, they don't read, but yes, it is absolutely something that you're paying for, and that's what a lot of people don't understand. Oh, I don't want to do it. Sometimes you're gonna have to. Sometimes you're gonna have to shell out.
Yeah, and we talk about that all the time with independence. It's okay if you're not a business savvy person, or if it's okay if you're not a market savvy person. But it is important that you surround yourself with a community of people who have your best
Mm-hmm.
interest in mind and can fill those voids for you if you're serious about it being, your career path. Like you just got to surround yourself with the right people.
That's right. That's right. Shoot.
That's how I got into doing it as a songwriter, sitting in rooms and making these great songs, and then knowing that the rapper or the R&B artist had no real plan for how
Mhm.
they were gonna promote the music after they release it. I'm like, wait a minute, I have a vested interest in the success of these songs, and I'm not comfortable with just giving it to them and they're like, I don't really have it figured out. I'm gonna just put it up on Spotify and see what happens.
Mhm.
So then I started trying to figure out, okay, wait a minute, let me figure out what some other things that we can do in order to drive the right core audience to this, because organic uh what is it? What's the term? Just the term organic in itself became such a buzz for all independent artists. They wanted their growth to be organic, not understanding that even organic plants and flowers have to be fertilized.
Mhm. That's true.
Oh yeah, exactly, B.
Love
Exactly.
Exactly,
fertilization.
exactly.
Yep.
Because I tried it. I'm like, I don't understand why I'm not getting organic growth. And I'm like, oh yeah, if it's organic, you still gotta water it and you still
That'll
gotta fertilize it.
right. You can't
I
just say
can't. I'm not. I just can't stick it in the ground and expect it to sprout itself.
you can't set it and forget it. Like the
You can't
Ronco.
set it and forget it. It never worked that way, and that was like what labels had and knew that we didn't as independents.
That's
So
right.
now that we know it, shame on us if we don't apply it.
That's right. Oh man, that's what's up, fellas. Shoot, that's what's up, man. I love these conversations, bro, because the way we talk about it is 100% from the indie perspective, bro. I'm gonna tell you right now, hands down, ain't no other podcast talking about how we talk the topics we talking about in the way that we talking about them. So, man,
Facts.
appreciate all the people in the chat that have been a part of what we have been a part of today and have been contributing to the conversation. Y'all make sure
that growth. I said, look at that growth.
Hey, let's go. Make sure next time.
We went from 0.
Yeah.
We're not 0 no more.
It ain't 0 no more. All right. When that 0 no more, y'all jump in, tell your friends about it. You know what I'm saying? We do this every other Friday where we do it live, where we have you participate with us. You can join in on camera. You can join in on the chat. I mean, just so look, just so you know, you can join us in on the camera. I already got camera placement set up. Look at this. Bam.
Boom. That
Boom.
could be you.
They're already there. That could be you in those spaces right there.
Ooh, that's crazy.
Crazy. That could be you.
Could be you.
Right? Joining in on the conversation. I got tons of space. So next time I'll post the link. The link is always in the chat in the very beginning, but I'll try to be mindful to post it periodically. But man, B, Ty, as always, brother, appreciate it. Thank you very much for a very intuitive and interactive conversation, brothers. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for tuning in to the Indie Unplugged. Once again, it's your man's B Vaughn. Whoever wants to say that.
I'm Brian already.
Brian Ray, Ty Huntley, and we are the Indie Unplugged, ladies and gentlemen. We are out. Peace.